Han watched as the surroundings around them began to change, from being a lush forest to nearly devoid of any life. There was a definitive smell of sulfur in the air, indicating that they were getting closer to their destination. They had spent weeks going around and investigating monster attacks, especially ones that were strange compared to the norm. Their investigations led them towards a volcanic area called the Devil's Cradle. For a long time, this area had been a place that locals had avoided due to the harsh environments and tales of people going missing. With how often such reports were given, no one had thought to investigate this area. Though the incidents they were looked into didn't have a direct relation to this location, there were definitely hints that something was up. The smell is pretty strong, like someone had left out 1,000,000 eggs and let them rot, Han commented while holding his nose. "Stop your complaining," Val said to him, sounding frustrated. This journey was taking its toll on her, especially with how Han was acting. "Master, would you like me to prepare something to hold over your nose?" Brittany asked, her voice sounding concerned. "I have a handkerchief that you can use if you want, Celestia offered. "How could I possibly need something when I have two wonderful ladies sitting on either side of me?" Han laughed as he placed both of his arms on each girl. They were currently riding a plush cart that seated two comfortably, but Han had all three of them sit, so it was very cozy. "He's smelling my body," Han heard Celestia murmur as she giggled. The more time Celestia had with him, Han had noticed her personality changing. When he first met her, she was very arrogant and controlling, but as she spent time with him, and after that passionate exchange, she had been becoming a little obsessed with him. At night, she would hold him tightly so her face was buried in his chest, and he would hear her smelling him. He only thought that this kind of scene appeared in hentai, so he was pleasantly surprised by how she was acting. With her submissive personality, which wasn't caused by his ability, it was definitely a turn-on. They had already spent a couple of nights with all of his other creations, enjoying long, passionate sessions of sex, and sleeping until it was early in the afternoon. Han enjoyed watching how Queen would take control of Celestia and command her into doing various sexual acts to him. He personally didn't enjoy having someone act domineering, but seeing those two definitely was enjoyable. "I will always be near Master," Brittany cooed. While Helania was away, Brittany was making sure to take care of everything. Having Helania gone was something he thought about, but her task was necessary, so he could only be patient until she returned. "You really do enjoy letting the world know how close you are to all the women in your life," Val snorted in laughter. Val had told him on their journey how she had heard students talk about his constant displays of affection, making him laugh. Compared to other nobles, who were sleazy with their mannerisms, Val informed him that she thought it was adorable how close he was to those he cared about. During this trip, Han and Val learned about one another and formed a strong friendship. Han learned about Val's childhood and what had happened to her parents. Though Han was vague about his background, Val understood that he was a private person and didn't try to pry. Seeing how good Val was to Han, those in Han's group became closer to Val. Han would also enjoy joking with the men that Val brought along. Her people had developed a strong sense of camaraderie with Han and also Brittany. With Brittany, many of them tried to duel her and lost horribly. Instead of getting angry, they enjoyed the challenge and tried to improve their own capabilities. Now, whenever they stopped for a period of time, Brittany would have several men ask if they could duel her and get some tips. "I think the only type of environment I have yet to see are polar regions and jungles. Do you know if they exist on this continent?" Han asked Val. Looking back at him, she said, "Yes, further up north, there are areas that are covered in snow, while past the desert, there are thick jungles." Maybe I should go visit both locations, so I can say that I have experienced everything this continent has to offer, Han mused to himself. Up ahead, there were several of Val's men who were heading towards them. As they got closer, they slowed and saluted to her. "Lady Knight, we have discovered a large opening, leading to a deep tunnel. Based on the tracks surrounding the entrance, we believe that this is where the disturbances could be originating." "Thank you, Captain," Val said. "What do you think, E?" she asked. "This seems like a good lead for us to see if there's any connection with what the locals are saying and also the increase in unusual monster behavior," Han agreed. Val signaled for her men to follow her, and they began their march towards the entrance.